recovered addict, alimony prisoner, counterintelligence veteran, and a widow who lost her husband to a confirmed suicide. This Hazzard cast crashed harder than Roscoe's cruiser. So fire up the charger and let's get rolling. Number 1. Waylon Arnold Jennings draws his first breath June 15, 1937. Littlefield, Texas. Cotton fields and hard, flat horizons. He drops out of school in the 10th grade, guitar already in hand. By his teens, he's spinning records at a Lubbock radio station, chasing a sound bigger than West Texas. Then Buddy Holly hears him play bass. Holly signs him for the touring band, and the kid from Littlefield is suddenly on the road with a star. February 3, 1959. The tour bus breaks down in brutal cold, and Holly charters a plane instead. Jennings gives up his seat to J.P. Richardson, sick with the flu and cramped on the bus. Hours later, the plane goes down in an Iowa cornfield. Richardson, Holly, and Richie Valens are dead. Jennings isn't on board. He carries that seat for the rest of his life. The 60s grind on. Jennings claws his way into Nashville, but the polish doesn't fit him. By the 70s, he's had enough of other men's rules. He demands his own material, his own studio, his own musicians, and wins. Outlaw country is born, and Waylon Jennings is its blueprint. Behind the music, there's a habit eating him alive. For years, Jennings feeds a cocaine habit that costs him $1,500 a day. It very nearly kills him. In 1984, he quits cold, quietly, without fanfare, just a decision. Long before that, creator Guy Waldron had already used Jennings's music and narration in a film called Moonrunners. When Waldron adapts it for television, he says he never considers anyone else for the job. Jennings writes and sings Good Old Boys, then steps behind the mic as the Balladeer, narrating every chase and cornpone punchline on the Dukes of Hazzard. For years, viewers hear him, but barely see him. The opening credits show only his hands strumming a guitar. Not until 1984, in the episode Welcome, Waylon Jennings, does he finally step in front of the camera as himself. Off camera, Jennings hasn't forgotten the classroom he left behind. He goes back and earns his GED, determined to show his young son that finishing school matters. After Hazzard County wraps, Jennings doesn't slow down. In 1985, he joins Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson to form the Highwaymen. Their single, Highwayman, rides straight to the top of the country charts. He keeps performing into the 90s, but the road finally catches up. Jennings stops touring in 1997. He forms the Old Dogs with Bobby Bare, Jerry Reed, and Mel Tillis, then makes select appearances with the Waymore Blues Band into 2001. That same year, diabetes turns cruel. Circulatory damage forces doctors to amputate his left foot. Weeks later, the Country Music Hall of Fame inducts him anyway. The outlaw finally canonized. Complications of diabetes take him February 13, 2002. At his home in Chandler, Arizona. He's 64. From a plane seat he gave away to a mic he never stopped using, Waylon Jennings spent a lifetime handing off what should have killed him and walking away singing. Number 2. Mount Kisco, New York, 1960. John Schneider enters the world. By 8, he's already performing. And by his teenage years, the family calls Atlanta home, a Southern accent replacing the New York one, years before Hollywood ever calls. At 17, he wants Bo Duke bad enough to lie for it. Schneider later tells the Atlanta Journal-Constitution the real story. He walks into casting and claims he's 24. Nobody checks his ID. He gets the part. From 1979 to the show's cancellation in 1985, Schneider drives the General Lee as Bo Duke. There's one detour, the 1982 contract walkout, when he and Tom Wopat sit out episodes in a pay dispute before returning to the Hazzard County set. For those missing weeks, Hazzard County keeps rolling without its two leading dukes, until money talks and both actors climb back into the general league. Here's the twist nobody expects. While Bo Duke leaps over cop cars every week, Schneider moonlights as a country star. His 1981 album, Now or Never, cracks the country top 10, and the title single lands in the top 5 on both the country and adult contemporary charts. Between 1984 and 1986, he racks up 4 #1 country singles. His album, A Memory Like You, tops the country chart outright. Not bad for a guy who spends his weekdays jumping the General Lee over collapsed bridges. Dukes ends in '85. Schneider doesn't fade. In 2001, he returns to primetime as Jonathan Kent, Clark Kent's adoptive father on Smallville, proving he can play a patriarch as easily as a good old boy. Then Schneider builds something nobody sees coming, a movie studio. He buys a 50-acre former YMCA camp in Louisiana and converts it into John Schneider Studios, cranking out projects like Collier and Company, Hot Pursuit. Life off camera turns rougher. In June 2018, the Associated Press reports Schneider serves 5 hours of a 3-day jail sentence stemming from an alimony dispute. He's released early when Los Angeles County Jail overcrowding shortens his stay. Heartbreak follows. In February 2023, his wife and creative partner, Alicia Elaine, dies at 53 after a battle with breast cancer. Schneider grieves publicly, then finds love again. In July 2024, he marries television host D.D. Sorvino in a surprise Las Vegas wedding. At 66, Schneider keeps working. As of August 2026, the city of Crossville, Tennessee, lists him for a concert at the historic Palace Theater this coming September. The 8-year-old who first steps on stage in Atlanta is still performing 6 decades later, just further from Hazzard County and a whole lot further from that jail cell. Number 3. Catherine Bach breaks into Hollywood the hard way. Before Georgia ever enters the picture, she's just another face fighting for scraps of screen time. Small parts, smaller paychecks. The Midnight Man, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, Hustle. Nothing that turns heads. Nothing that pays the rent for long. Hollywood sees a bit player. Nobody yet sees a star. Then, in a 2019 interview, Bach recalls an agency dropping her entirely, calling her too exotic-looking for television. Bach doesn't quit. She walks into a casting room anyway, reading for a Georgia sheriff's niece named Daisy Duke. "The room applauds," she says. 2 weeks later, she's on a plane to Georgia, no idea her life is about to change. Wardrobe hands her a poodle skirt. Bach says no. She grabs a pair of bell-bottoms, takes scissors to the denim, and stitches together roughly 20 pairs of cutoffs for the show's earliest episodes. Nobody on television has worn shorts quite like these. Soon, the whole country is calling them Daisy Dukes, a fashion invented on a sewing table, not in a boardroom. For 6 years, 1979 to 1985, Bach is Daisy Duke. The role makes her a household name, and she admits years later, an almost impossible one to shake. By December of 1992, she's openly turning down what she calls second-class Daisy parts, refusing to spend her whole career playing variations on a character she'd already perfected. Instead, she found new ground in Johannesburg, living there while she starred in African Skies. In that 1992 interview, she said she was picking up some Zulu between takes. Hazzard, though, wasn't finished with her yet. She slid back into those famous shorts for 2 reunion films. Reunion in '97, Hazzard in Hollywood in 2000. Then Tragedy, April 30th, 2010. Her husband, entertainment attorney Peter Lopez, is found dead of a gunshot wound outside their Encino home. Coroner officials confirm suicide. Bach keeps working. She plays Anita Lawson on The Young and the Restless across 7 years, From 2012 to 2019, stepping away and returning, with a fresh comeback reported that same summer. In 2024, she turns up in Holy Cash, cast, improbably, as a Mother Superior. Autograph tables, fan conventions. As recently as March of 2026, she's still signing photos for strangers at a car show in Rosemont, Illinois. Still the same seamstress who refused a poodle skirt. Still cutting her own path, one pair of shorts at a time. Number 4. Before Luke Duke, there's Tom Wopat, a Lodi, Wisconsin farm kid who trades cattle country for New York stages, cutting his teeth in musicals years before Hazzard County ever calls his name. In 1977, a script lands in his hands. According to his own cast biography, he books a flight to Los Angeles and auditions cold for the role of Luke Duke on The Dukes of Hazzard. He gets the part. From 1979 to 1985, Wopat drives the General Lee across CBS every single week, and overnight, a Wisconsin farm kid becomes a household name. Fame comes with a price tag nobody warns him about. In May of 1982, Wopat and co-star John Schneider walk off the show entirely. They file a $25 million lawsuit claiming Warner Brothers cheated them out of merchandising money on every die-cast car and lunchbox sold nationwide. Hazzard County scrambles without them. Producers roll out 2 new cousins, Coy and Vance, hoping fans won't notice the difference. Fans notice immediately. By December, the lawsuits are dropped, and Bo and Luke slide back behind the wheel of the General Lee. Broadway becomes his second home. In 1999, he earns a Tony nomination for Annie Get Your Gun. In 2008, a second nomination follows, this time for A Catered Affair. He later steps into Catch Me If You Can as Frank Abagnale Sr., trading Hazzard County dirt roads for Broadway footlights. Television keeps calling too. Sybil, Longmire, even a turn in Django Unchained. Then, in 2018, the headlines turn ugly. The Boston Globe reports Wopat pleads guilty in Waltham District Court to 2 counts of annoying and accosting women. He receives a year of probation, orders barring contact with 2 victims, and mandatory counseling. It's a chapter the good old boy never scripted, and one he can't outrun behind the wheel. Music never stops either. In 2023, he drops Simple Man, his 13th studio album. Today, Tom Wopat is 74 years old, and his own website still lists contacts for music bookings and stage and screen work. From a farm kid chasing a Hazzard County script in 1977 to a Broadway headliner chasing Tony nominations decades later, Luke Duke's boots carried him a long way past that dirt road. Number 5. Powderly, Kentucky gives the world Jewel Franklin Guy. His mother dies in 1929, and the boy lands in an orphanage. Essa and Armin Best adopt him. Jewel becomes James Best, raised in Corydon, Indiana. War changes everything. In 1944, he enlists, serving as a military policeman in occupied Germany. His service record gets him into a military theatrical company instead, where director Arthur Penn casts him in his first role, My Sister Eileen. Best catches the acting bug hard. New York stock theater follows, then fashion modeling. A Hollywood casting director takes notice, and Universal Studios signs him as a contract player, alongside rising names like Tony Curtis and Rock Hudson. Best keeps working for decades, then starts teaching, opening an acting school that runs more than 25 years. His official biography credits him with teaching future names like Quentin Tarantino and Regis Philbin. In the early 70s, he steps back from Hollywood. The University of Mississippi makes him artist in residence. He teaches film, directs plays, and helps establish the Mississippi Film Commission. Then Warner Brothers comes calling with his first regular series. Georgia Fishing Country and an old friend, Denver Pyle, seal the deal. From 1979 to 1985, Best plays Sheriff Rosco P. Coltrane on The Dukes of Hazzard. The role becomes his signature. After the show, he never really leaves Hazzard County. Reunions, festivals, fan gatherings. Best keeps showing up while still writing, directing, painting, and performing. More than 50 years after The Killer Shrews terrorized drive-in audiences, Best returns to help write and star in its 2012 sequel. His final film comes in 2013, Hallmark's The Sweeter Side of Life, and a year later he wins Best Actor for a stage production of On Golden Pond. April 6, 2015. James Best is gone at 88. His wife Dorothy citing complications from pneumonia after a brief illness. The orphan from Powderly, Kentucky built a life full enough for 3 men, cousin to the Everly brothers, teacher to Tarantino, sheriff of Hazzard County. Number 6. Buffalo, New York. Sorrell Booke arrives here. A doctor's waiting room becomes his first stage. By age 9, he's charming his father's patients into laughter, and local radio takes notice, putting him on air before he's out of grade school. Talent like that doesn't stay local. Booke trains at Columbia, then the Yale School of Drama, sharpening a craft built for the biggest stages in the country. Then Korea interrupts. He spends 2 years in Army counterintelligence during the Korean War, then returns to the stage he trained so hard for. Broadway comes calling in 1956. Over the next 2 decades, he logs roles in more than 100 plays and musicals. Television takes notice too. In 1964, he earns an Emmy nomination for his work on Dr. Kildare. Then, in 1978, he auditions for a role that changes everything. A corrupt, blustering Southern power broker for a new CBS series, The Dukes of Hazzard. Booke delivers, modeling the drawl on Senators Sam Ervin and Strom Thurmond. From 1979 to 1985, he is Boss Hogg, the girth built from padding, not pounds, since the Yale-trained actor is nowhere near that heavy. Off-camera, Boss Hogg's drawl gives way to something else entirely. Booke speaks 5 languages, Japanese among them, occasionally startling Hazzard County tourists by greeting them fluently on set. After Hazzard County, Booke keeps working. He guest stars on Full House in 1987, then voices roles in animation including Rock-a-Doodle and The New Adventures of Captain Planet. February 11, 1994. Booke passes, felled by cancer, at his Sherman Oaks, California home. He's 64. Still the same actor who studied Yale drama and Southern senators in equal measure. Proof that behind every good villain, there's a very good student. Number 7. Denver Pyle is born May 11, 1920 in Bethune, Colorado. Flat prairie, grain elevators, a town small enough that everyone knows your name. By 1947, he lands his first screen credit in the adventure picture Devil Ship. 3 decades of westerns and primetime television follow. Briscoe Darling on The Andy Griffith Show, parts in Gunsmoke, Perry Mason, and John Ford's The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. By 1979, Pyle has logged more than 200 credits. Then Hazzard County calls. He lands Uncle Jesse Duke, the moonshine-running patriarch of the Dukes of Hazzard. Warm, wise, impossible to replace. The role runs 6 seasons through 1985 and becomes the biggest success of his career. Off-camera, Pyle keeps a second identity, Oil Man. He's a partner in Otis Energy, buying fringe wells back when crude sells for $2.15 a barrel. By 1981, he tells a reporter, those wells now pay $46.75 a barrel. He and his wife Tippy put that money to work, founding Denver Pyle's children's charities and launching an annual fishing tournament, Uncle Jesse's Big Mouth, Big Bass Classic, to fund youth programs. After Dukes ends, Pyle keeps working. His final film role comes in Maverick, 1994. 3 years later, he reprises Uncle Jesse for a TV reunion movie. December 12, 1997. Pyle presses his hands into cement on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 13 days later, lung cancer takes him. December 25th, a hospital in Burbank, California. He's 77. The oil man who struck it rich underground? Turns out his real gusher was a front porch in Hazzard County. Number 8. Before Cooter Davenport, there's Ben Jones, a University of North Carolina student who turns pro in 1963, debuting in the musical Showboat. 15 years of stage, film, and commercial work later, he lands Cooter Davenport in 1978, the wrench-slinging mechanic of Hazzard County. From 1979 to 1985, Jones plays Cooter across 142 episodes of the Dukes of Hazzard. Though Rotten Tomatoes notes, he briefly vanishes from the second season amid a disagreement with producers. Then comes the plot twist nobody sees coming. In 1988, Jones trades the garage for the campaign trail, winning a Georgia seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. He serves 2 terms before losing re-election in 1992, later challenging Newt Gingrich in 1994, and mounting one more failed run in Virginia in 2002. Congress behind him, Jones slides back behind Cooter's wheel for 2 Dukes reunion films and appears in primary colors in 1998. His 2008 memoir, Redneck Boy in the Promised Land, reveals a harder battle. Jones says he hasn't taken a drink since a 5-week bender ended on September 26, 1977. At 84, Jones and his wife, Alma Viator, remain listed as proprietors of 3 Cooter's Place stops, per the site's own listings, from Luray to Nashville to Pigeon Forge. Hazzard County to Capitol Hill, to a gift shop off the interstate. Mechanic, congressman, shopkeeper. Cooter never really left the road.